What's up, familia? This is gonna be what's on that shelf. Take Lee.
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name is Michael E. Murphy. I'm one half of the Brothers Murph, and it's time to take a look at what's on these shelves behind us here. I don't know if you noticed, but we bought some board games at some point in history because they're on the shelf behind me where I happen to live. So we are going to talk about just a small little piece of the collection, this much, and talk about why these games have been bought. Why do they live with us? Why do we keep them around? Are they even worth keeping? I don't know. Let's find out. So today I'm going to focus on this little section of shelfie right there. So the first game, let's just get right into it. It's called Mystic Vale. Mystic Vale is a cool game by AEG. It's a John DeClaire product. And it is super cool because it boasts it's a card crafting game. So there are like deck builder games and stuff like that where you're trying to, you start off with like a set amount of base cards that are kind of like not that cool. They do a little bit of stuff and hopefully throughout the game you get to build a deck with more and more cool cards. And when you draw out 5 or 6 or whatever it is every turn, you have a better chance of hitting something that's really, really good. So this is kind of taking that and saying, well, you know what's a bummer about deck builders is maybe you have to buy like 20 cards and all of a sudden your deck goes from here to here and you have to go through so many cards to get to the good stuff. And you get that deck bloat, you know what I'm talking about? So card crafting games kind of takes that and says like, wouldn't it be cool if you never had more than like 15 cards? You always have the same amount of cards and the cards themselves just get upgraded and become better. So what you have in this game is you basically have these like card sleeves and they'll have like little imagery and stuff in certain areas. There's like basically a top, middle, and bottom section. And sometimes it might just have something in the middle, then clear and clear on the other side. And they go into these big sleeves. And then what you can do is when you're buying stuff, you can slot in other kind of semi-clear cards that maybe have imagery on the bottom. So now you have something on the middle and the bottom do good stuff for you. Or you can get something that has all three. And how do you upgrade your deck without ever adding to the amount of physical cards you have? So this game, to my understanding, was kind of made and released with the idea of like, let's introduce the concept of card crafting to people for future games. Now, it's not to say this wasn't a thought out game, but like this was the whole plan was like, let's make an accessible way to teach people like, what the heck is card crafting? Mystic Vale is cool. We like it. We don't play it that often. I feel like this is an awesome game and I really want to see that next great card crafting game come out that like really is just like blows the socks off you and you're like, this was the whole point. Like this is great because this is a pioneer. This helped pave the way. This can be the dominion for other deck builders and things that I like better now. So this is one that I don't know if we'll hang on to, especially because what I understand is there's a really good app and digital version of Mystic Vale, which now takes out the like having to like grab cards and slide them in, which is fun, but like admittedly takes a little bit of time and a little bit fiddly. And if it just goes where it's digitally, boom, now your card's upgraded and it's like slick looking. I've heard the app is really good. So I want to check out the app and I feel like if I really like that, that would probably make this game a trade or sell or giveaway situation to somebody else. But it is really cool. So that's Mystic Vale by John DeClaire and AEG Games. What's on the shelf here? We got Coal Baron. We got Coal Baron here by R&R Games Incorporated. It's a Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling product. This is a worker placement game where you're coal barons. You're trying to get coal and stuff like that. And it's super cool because you have this board and there's only a few different types of actions you can do. You can get like new mining carts, which will have coal on them. You can get different like contract cards and stuff. You're ultimately trying to fill contracts. And there's also this kind of set collection element to the game as well. And the thing I like about it is that spots are never blocked, truly. It's just that like if someone had been to this spot over here in the very corner and now I really want to go there, there's one blue worker. If I'm red, I have to put 2 red workers there. I have to basically increase the amount of workers that go there. So I'm paying a higher and higher and higher cost to go to the same spaces. So it's really about like, okay, I have 20 workers for the day. How do I want to employ those workers? What do I want to do? I want to try to spread out to things that people haven't really thought of. Oh, I really need money, but everyone's gone to money. It's going to cost me a lot of workers to get that money, but I got to be able to have money to get my operation going? How do I spend my workers? That's the most valuable currency you have in the game, is your workers. So again, in the game, you're getting these like mine carts and you're building deeper and deeper. There's like brown, yellow, gray, and black coal. As you go down, they become more valuable if you put them to different contracts. And then right here in the middle, they have this little dial. There's basically 3 rounds of scoring. And you want to have kind of majorities of certain types of things to be able to kind of get these bonuses going. So in the first round, all you're going to score is the types of coal that you've got, that you've collected and stuff like that. So whoever had the most gold gets 2 points, and second place gets 1. And then whoever has the brown, and then the silver, and the black. And then when you go into the second, you're doing these contracts and stuff, and you have to get the right amounts of coal on there, but then you also have to transport them via a certain type of transportation. There's like trains and vans and stuff, and like rickshaws, and like, you know, there's these basically 4 modes of transportation which are over here. And so in the second round, now you're scoring like how many cards have I fulfilled contracts that needed to be done with a train, and that's really valuable. And then on the third one, it's like how many mine carts you actually have and stuff like that. So there's this kind of interesting thing of you're going to score like your coal 3 different times. So, you know, you're like, oh, do I want to keep going for one color and stuff and really try to monopolize that? Or I have like the van transportation. I'm like, just keep getting those so I make sure I never don't get that scoring bonus at the end. Or do you try to kind of spread it out and go kind of contract to contract? So it's an interesting game. That has paper money, weak, but it works. We make our peace with it. I think this might be our only like paper money game that's like a modern proper game. So I can live with it. But you're kind of like, really? Paper money? Okay, whatever. Just give us cardboard stuff. But this is a cool game. So this is a game that a buddy of ours gave us, I think for Nick's birthday, and it's been really fun. It's cool that whole you're not blocked, but are you willing to pay the price? And so you kind of create this artificial blocking where you're like, you could do it if you really want to throw down 10 workers on one space. If it's that important for you to do, okay. But it keeps it pretty simple because there's not actually that many different spaces to go to. It's really about how do I invest those workers? So this is Rococo. If you watched our top 10 games that we suck at, this makes an appearance on my list. But then right after we made that list, I played this game and I crushed it. I crushed hard. So maybe this is gonna be my top 10 games that I crushed butt at. Dang. But Rococo is a game. That's it. By Eagle Griffin, at least and Eggert Spiel, at least at the printing that I have. It's by Matthias Kramer, Louis Malz, and Stefan Malz. It is a game where you are designing dresses and fancy clothes for fancy folks to send to a party potentially, which is represented on this board. Basically, there's this big party going on that has decorations and musicians and fireworks going on at the top, and you want to make sure you have you've made the dresses for the coolest people at the party. And so what you're doing is you're going through and you have these cards. You'll always have 3 cards every round, and then you can potentially hire employees to get more actions per round. But you're using these 3 different employees, and you have kind of like apprentices, journeymen, and then masters. And depending on the level of skill they have, they may or may not be able to do all the different types of actions. Like apprentices can't make clothes, and they haven't learned enough. Journeymen can make clothes, but they can't make the finest, best clothes. That's only for the master. Only the master can go talk to the queen. Things like that. And in the game, you're going to be getting these like bolts of different color fabrics. You need thread and lace and things to adorn your clothes with. And then down here at the bottom, there's basically contracts. So you need have the right amount of the right color materials and things like that to be able to make this dress. And then what you can do when you make the dress, the cool thing that I like is you can either put one of your color markers on it and put them in one of the rooms of the party, and you're going for area majority in the different rooms, which will give you scoring bonuses at the end of the game. Or you can flip over and just straight sell the dress. No one gets to wear it. You're just going to sell it to somebody for money, which is going to help you maybe fund the decorations and musicians of the party. So you're basically trying to touch and influence as many pieces of this party as you can. Can I dress more people than everyone else? Can I make sure that dope cellist over there is my cellist? And they have like a Mike Rocks, banner above them or something like that. So you're trying to make sure that this party pops off because of your hands. You have influenced this party more than everyone else. It's a fantastic theme for a game. It's so fun. This is a game that I won't say that I'm great at yet because I've had one resounding victory, but that could have been a fluke. But this is a game that I just really enjoy the theme so much. I don't really care if I don't win or not. I'm just enjoying myself. And it's really kind of quite pretty, and there's just iconography that makes it pretty darn simple to understand. So this is just a really great game. This is a great game that I would like to like upgrade, because this game like looks really pretty, but there's a couple bits that are like really underwhelming. Like the thread and lace are just like a cube or a cylinder. And I'm like, well, make something kind of fun. So maybe we can 3D print something for that. We're gonna look in ways to kind of upgrade this in terms of components just for fun, because it's a fancy game. So it should look fancy as well. But Rococo is a great game if you can find it. Do yourself a favor and play it. It's absolutely great. Last on the list today, we have Iguazu, Bahama Games. This is a super fun game by Michael Afelcotter. And this is like beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's got table presence out the wazoo, out the Iguazu. And in the story of this game, there's basically a giant little salamander dude up here who like once a year like crosses this great wide waterfall, like a tropical Niagara Falls, right? And wherever they happen to be standing, as they slowly crawl across the waterfall, they block the water, and it goes off to the sides and sides, and it reveals like all these precious gemmies beneath. You're like, ooh, tasty, tasty. I want to go down there and be a gem hunter. And then there's like little snacks at the bottom here that are dangerous and stuff. So in the game, what you're doing is you have these different color cards that pertain to the basically like the 3 different colored gems that you can get. There's like orange, white, and blue, I think. So you have these cards here, and what you're doing is on your turn is you can play cards or you can draw cards. And if I play cards, I might play 2 blue cards so I can go to the second column and put one of my color gems in the space of a blue over here. And then, and then it goes to the next person. And if I don't have any cards, I can just like draw 4 cards. So for however many cards you play, you're going to play that many columns deep. And whenever the column at the furthest left, it fills up, you score that column. Whoever has the most of their little color markers on that column will get the points at the bottom. Second place will get the second, and so on. But then the really cool bit is not only are you counting your columns, but you're also looking across at the rows. And whoever has the most in any row will get this little bonus tile that's here at the edge, which might be points. It might be something that allows you to draw extra cards, ignore the color of cards, go twice in a row. Things like that. So you're trying to simultaneously play for the now and prep for the future. Because as we go deeper into the game, the rounds, the columns themselves become more and more valuable. So I'm like, okay, maybe I have a bunch of blue. I'm going to put down 3 blue and then 3 blue on my next turn so I can play a couple things for this third column, which isn't going to help me now, but it's going to help me get one of those row bonuses. And then when we come to that column later, I'm already ahead of the game because I've already got 2 of my markers there. This is a great, simple, beautiful game that can really appeal to a family, but you can get pretty tricksy with it and stuff and planning for the future, something I do not do well. We played this with Karen, my dear sweet love, and she crushed us because she was playing all future. She got so many of these column bonuses. Literally, it was a 4-player game. She probably got 2/3 of them, and I'm like, she just absolutely always had that planned out. She knew exactly what she was doing. Didn't even win many of the columns, and it just didn't even matter. It did not matter. She was just so forward thinking that she might already have, like, of the few columns she won, she already had it set before we ever got there. Well before we ever got there, she's like, this thing's mine. There's no way you can get a majority. I've already got so many things over here. So that's what I like about it, is that you can just play in the moment and just like enjoy the cards you have, or you can really try to push yourself and see how tricksy you can get. So this is a great game that looks beautiful, so colorful. It's got this kind of 3D presence about it, and doing what Haba does, like high quality stuff that looks great and appeals to kind of parents and kids alike. Iguazu is a great game. That is it for this part of the shelf, my friends. Not too bad. This section's got some good stuff. We got some straight bangers up in here. Like I said, Mystic Vale might be one that isn't long for our board game collection, but we have enjoyed it, and I really do want to play it again. It's one of those that, like, hey, we need to, if we're gonna think about trading or selling it or giving it away or whatever, we need to at least play it one more time and see if it does spark that joy. So this is one that needs to be played. It's collected a bit of dust recently. Anyway, do you have any of these games on your shelf? Do you like any of these games? Do you hate any of these games? Let me know what games you have on your shelves back home, whether or not they match the ones here or anywhere behind me. Let us know the games that you love. Gen Con is coming up, so let us know games you're interested in getting from Gen Con. And that's part of why we need to figure out what games we do or do not really want to have, because we're going to be getting some stuff at Gen Con and we're going to need space to put it, and we're not going to buy another like room, you know, just for the games. We already have one, that's plenty. So that's it for what's on that shelf this week. We'll see you next time. Again, if you are coming to Gen Con next week, come say hi to us. We'll be at Restoration Games' booth, and running around will generally be silly folks. So just look for the silliness and you'll find us there. We'll see you next time, everyone. Have a great day and play some games, damn it!
Hello. I want to let you know that we have a Patreon and that you should check it out. There will be a button somewhere around here probably that you can click to help out the Brothers Murph. Click the Patreon. Do it.
Also got to let you know that we're sponsored by Restoration Games and by Game Toppers. Go to GameToppersLLC.com to upgrade your gaming experience. Look at that label. It's beautiful. Do it. Do it right now. I hate you. I'm sorry. I love you. Bye.